Okay, folks, quick ET to the staging lanes, please. Quick ET to the staging lanes. There we go. Quick ET to the staging lanes. As we're about to, we are into street bike here at Warwick Dragway for Nitro on the Downs. Quali number 3, as we're calling it. Christopher Shaper. Look at that, Christopher Shaper, 0.000 reaction time. That is perfect. Give the man a round of applause. Bow down to the awesomeness that is Christopher Shaper's reaction time. How cool is that? Took me a second to notice it on the screen here, but that is very, very impressive. We don't see that very often. How good is that? That's very exciting. I'm not sure if his family's going to hear the end of it, but that's fine. He's earned the bragging rights. Here we go with the next 2 bikes in street bike qualifying round number 3. Adam Hill and Matt Halpin. Matt Halpin, of course, a very, very regular bike racer. Pulls that front wheel off the deck. Crosses the finish line first. 10.17, 136 miles per hour. Just repeating, folks, quick ET to the staging lanes, please. Quick ET to the staging lanes. Looks like there's only 2 or 3 quick ET cars in the staging lanes at the moment, so please make your way to the staging lanes, quick ET. We're going to get through street bike very shortly, and then we'll be moving on to the gases. So we need quick ET to the staging lanes ASAP. Aaron Grout and Rochelle Strike. Looks like Rochelle's out in front. Not by a hell of a lot, but she is out in front. She takes the win with a 10.06, 135 miles per hour. And Aaron Grout, 10.34, just 34 hundredths of a second behind with 131 miles per hour. that is it for Street Bike. Here we go. This is what you've been waiting for. It is the mighty Warwick Gases pulling up into the burnout box now. Randall Morris in the beautiful big Ford Fairlane. Blown big block on board. And he is lining up against Peter Klockner, the legendary Metal Mauler Valiant. 383 cubes of small block Chrysler. Oh yeah, that is what we like to see. The big smoky burnout from Randall Morris. If you get a chance to check out this car in the pits, make sure you do. He's got those ultra cool lightning rod shifters. The Hurst lightning rod shifter, where each gear has its own lever. And I'll tell you what, so cool, so cool. You don't get much cooler than that, that's for sure. Looks like his crew are pushing him back. Unfortunately, Peter Klockner goes by himself in the Metal Mauler. Unfortunately for Randall Morris, something has gone wrong. 1389, 99 miles per hour for the Valiant in the Pro Street Radials lane. As unfortunately we see the Willie or won't he Bolt car getting pushed back. Hopefully nothing too serious. There is a little bit of fluid on the track. But hopefully nothing too bad. Just a very quick clean up here. Looks like we might be running Dean Kubler in the locomotive ute by himself. Mate, these Warwick Gases have to make everything into a good show. So we were just watching Brad O'Regan back that Plymouth, and we didn't know if he was going to stop before he hit the four-wheel drive there. But, of course, he knew what he was doing. We shouldn't have had any doubts whatsoever. As I said, these Gases just like to put on a show no matter what they're doing. Are we going to go with the solo, or are we going to wait till we get this track cleaned up? I think we are going to get the track cleaned up. We've got Dean Kubler over there. He's going to back as well so that we can get the tractor around. I'm sure this will only be a very quick break here for this little cleanup. And we'll be back underway. In the meantime, you probably do have time to race over and grab some merchandise from the merchandise stand there over there in the party tent. The party tent, of course, is in front of the canteen. You can't miss it. You head on over there and you will see the merchandise stand there. We've got all sorts of cool stuff you can grab. We've got the T-shirts, we've got the hats, we've got the stubby coolers. And believe it or not, if you have a little one, a little tiny baby, we can even do a shirt for a newborn baby. They are the cutest, I must admit. I'm not afraid to say that as a manly man. Yeah. Oh, mate, I'm very tempted just to buy one. Yeah, I'm sure one of my daughters will have another baby at some stage. Well, they better. Yeah, that's right. I'll get the shirt, and then they'll go, "Oh yeah, gonna have another baby." Well, actually, my two oldest ones who have already had a baby each, they're both saying that's it. But then I've got one more daughter. Just got to get her married off, get rid of her. I meant find her a lovely man. Yeah, well, don't worry, she already has. She moved out and she's back, so we thought we were free. So she's still there as well. That's all right. We love her. She's great. So it's actually the parents that are the interlopers in your house. That's all right. That's what family's for. Well, luckily for me, had a lovely lady come and bring me some lunch. So I beat you all to lunch, but I'll tell you what, if you're feeling peckish, the food down in the canteen is so good. They got probably the best chips in the world. I'm not. I am a little bit prone to exaggeration, but they are very good. And they also have the chicken chippies. They're very delicious. And their burgers, both beef and chicken burgers. They got cold drinks. They've got all sorts of stuff. Make sure you get down there and get yourself some lunch. It's just about that time. I was lucky enough to get an early lunch, so that was good. Hopefully you didn't hear me munching away while I was talking. But, yeah, so we do have this little break where we're having a little clean up. It won't be too long, but it might be just enough time for you to jump down to the canteen and grab something to eat. And while you're there, check out the merchandise. As we said over there, just in front of the canteen is the merchandise stand under the party tent, as we call it. Here we go, folks. About to get underway once again with qualifying round number 3 of the Warwick Gassers here at Nitro on the Downs. Brad O'Regan in the Plymouth. Dean Kubler in the Ford Ute. Of course, the Plymouth of Brad O'Regan in the Golby's Parts and Fab Lane. And Dean Kubler, the locomotive. Oh, unfortunately for the Plymouth, got dragged through the red light. Dean Kubler, he's missed a gear or something there. I'm not sure what's happened there, but back underway now. But he will take the win just because of the red light from Brad O'Regan. These guys love to put on a show. Nigel Elsmore in the doggone crazy Hillman panel van. Beautiful bright green with the purple. Looks awesome. Speaking of looking awesome, here's Shane Lucas as well. The Blue Bayou, Austin. Over there in the Pro Street Radials lane. Wheels up for Nigel Elsmore. Looking pretty close across the finish line. This could be anyone's race. And it goes to the little Hillman of Nigel Elsmore. He runs his quickest number of the weekend, 11:35 at 113 miles per hour. Shane Lucas ran 11:88. 112 miles an hour. Here we go. James Brennan once more with the big, long, smoky, badass burnout. He loves smoking out the start line, and he's done a great job of it. Callum Scott in the Brutal Valiant. He is over there in the other lane, the Pro Street Radials lane. Brutal out first, but unfortunately leaves the cherry on the Christmas tree. And the win will go to James Brennan. In the Delinquent, he runs through with a 13:34, 102 miles per hour. Callum Scott with the red light runs 12:08 at 115. Grumpy Humpy out there now. First pass of the weekend for these guys in the Pro Street Radials lane. Lining up against Tracy Coombe. Tracy in the old Trouble and Strife Chevy Nova. Of course, Rowan Morrison it is in the Humpy. Tracy is gone. She is out of there. 10:66, 126 miles per hour. As we see Simon Telford coming forward in the Rob Brown car. Barbara Ann, the beautiful bright yellow F.J. Holden, lining up against Kenny McKay. Kenny McKay in that awesome blown Hemi powered Willys. Oh, this is looking pretty good off the start line for both these guys. Looks like Kenny might be just drawing ahead now. And he runs 11:42, 120 miles per hour, his quickest and fastest of the weekend. Simon Telford also ran his quickest and fastest with a 12:04 at 85 miles per hour. And that is the end of qualifying number 3 for the Warwick Gassers as usual, putting on a great show for all the fans. Five up against the blue Altered over there. Nice job there. The Altered takes the win with a 990, 136 miles per hour. The FC Holden runs 10.17 at 130. Bruce Mansfield in the rear engine dragster up against Sarah Dawson. The Moonshine Outlaw Altered. This is, of course, Quick ET round, qualifying round number 3. You are watching the Overtaking Lane live feed if you're at home, or you are watching it live here at the track. That's the only two ways you get to see all the action of Nitro on the Downs. Here we go. Red light for Sarah Dawson and a lovely 0.02 reaction for Bruce Mansfield. He goes 8.39, 131 miles per hour, his best numbers of the weekend. And Sarah Dawson runs a 9.38, 119 miles per hour. Another solo pass here for Ella Sting. She was running solos all day yesterday. She's getting a handle on this car. She's doing a great job. I tell you what, these cars are not easy to drive. And this one in particular is one of the heavy hitters in this class. So Ella is doing an awesome job of getting a handle on driving this car. The Sting Family Racing rear engine dragster. What a beautiful car it is. Nice pass there from Ella Sting, straight down the guts of the track. 881, 104 miles per hour. She's got to be happy with that. Thumbs up from John Sting down there. Good to see. He is happy with that one, and so he should be. Good job there from Ella Sting in the dragster. Radial and Outlaw to the staging lanes, please. Radials and Outlaw to the staging lanes. Andrew March in the Ford Telstar up against Benita Marchant in the rear engine dragster. Beautiful dragster, this one again, and does a great job with it too, does Benita Marchant. Red light for Andrew March. Benita running hard down there. Beautiful reaction time from her. 0.07 of a second and goes 790 at 168 miles per hour. Here we go, Darren Otto in the Nostalgia front engine dragster. Step back in time. Great name for this car. And of course, speaking of nostalgia, we've got Scott Burton over there in the Altered Intentions, altered with the blown 6-cylinder Holden red motor. And here we go. What can you say about Darren Otto that you can legitimately allowed to say on the radio, on the microphone? Probably nothing. We'll leave it there. Scott Burton in the Pro Street Radials lane. The Altered Intentions. Beautiful. 6-cylinder powered Altered. Not a bad reaction time there from the old bloke, Darren Otto. 0.16 goes 10.52. Scott Burton with a 10.56. Neil Maxwell in the GTO over there in the Pro Street Radials lane. Beautifully presented car, this one. Pontiac GTO. Also, AKA, could put Holden badges on, I guess, if you wanted to, and call it a Monaro. They're pretty much the same car, but he's got the Pontiac style grille on the front of it and all that sort of business. He's lining up against Rob Price in this beautiful Tirana hatchback. Just repeating as well, Radial and Blown Outlaws to the staging lanes, please. Radial and Blown Outlaws to the staging lanes, please. Neil Maxwell, that car gets out very nice. He did go before the green, but actually well before the green. I don't think he even will get a time for that because he went way too early. Went before the tree was even activated. Rob Price, he had a nice 0.06 reaction time, so 0.06 of a second, and 9.67 at 139 for him across the finish line. As I said, Neil Maxwell, car pulled him through the starting beams way too early. Neil Grayson now against Michael Osborne in the battle of the Hilux Utes. Pretty close off the start line, but Neil Grayson's driving away with it. He'll go through with an 8.30, 161 miles per hour. And Michael Osborne in the white ute ran a 9.39 at 146. Of course, here in Australia, we love our utilities, and especially the Hilux utes. They are very, very popular. So great to see them, those two Hiluxes going at it together. As we call Radial and Blown Outlaws to the staging lanes once again. Radial and Blown Outlaws to the staging lanes, please. We are just about ready for you guys and girls. Trevor Davis in the Jaffa Mark 1 Cortina up against Terry Mansfield French XD Falcon. Well, I tell you what, that one's looking pretty close from here as well. Mansfield French gets the win with a 10.35, 129 miles per hour. Also his best numbers of the weekend as well as a bonus. And Trevor Davis went 10.79 at 116. Quick ET, of course, brought to us by Unreal Plates. Thank you very much for your sponsorship, of course. Kirsten Coulson. .10.41, 130 miles per hour in the AU Falcon. Here's a serious looking bit of gear. Max Carpenter in the beautiful Mustang. No, you're right. 9:35, 114 miles per hour for Max Carpenter in that beautiful Mustang. Mark Sugars now in the beautiful Falcon Sprint, and Michael Shaper, the 57 Chevy utility. Oh, I tell you what, the pressure is on for Michael Shaper. Earlier we saw his son Chris on the motorbike go an absolute perfect reaction time. Now it's up to Dad to try and match it for bragging rights in the family. You see Chris there at the back of the car guiding it in on the tyre rubber on the track. Mark Sugars in the blue car. What a beautiful car that is as well. Both these cars so immaculately presented. Red light for Michael Shaper. The pressure was too much. He went for it and he almost got there, let's be honest. 0.02 of a second off a perfect light. 8.75. Mark Sugars went 9.62 at 134. Chris will be still smiling and still have the bragging rights. But I tell you what, Michael had a good crack at it. Greg Trapnell. In the Chevy. Had a little bit of an issue earlier and had to be pushed back. Looks like they've got that sorted. And he is back out there. And I think this could be the final pass of qualifying round number 3. Purge the nitrous. Carries the wheels well past the 60-foot. 0.007 reaction time, 1.2 to the 60-foot. And like I said, that would have been with the rear wheels probably. 8.95, 113 miles per hour. Great pass there from Greg Trapnell in the big Chevy. And that is the end of qualifying session number 3. What an absolute cracker. Heaps of awesome action. Heaps of great stuff out there. And now we'll have a quick sweep and rub of the track. We get it underway for the Radial and Blown Outlaws cars very, very shortly for the final qualifying session, session number 4. And yeah, so that means we've got a short break coming up, and gives you a chance to go down, grab some food from the canteen, grab some merchandise there from the party tent just near the canteen, and maybe go to the loo, whatever you want to do, and get out. Also, we got, I have noticed too, I haven't been asked to talk about it, but look at that. We've got the 1320 Motorsports merch tent as well. They've got plenty of great stuff for sale there. They deal in all sorts of great stuff for motorsports, and I believe they've got some merchandise of their own as well. But make sure you hit up that place as well, 1320 Motorsports. As you know, they are our naming sponsors here at Warwick Dragway. So make sure you support those guys as well, 1320 Motorsports. And so, yeah, that's actually quite a good one there. You can go over to the canteen, grab some food, look at and grab some merchandise from the Warwick Dragway merchandise stand, then go check out 1320 Motorsports. By that stage, you'll be ready for second course, so then head on down to the food trucks, grab some chicken wings or some pizza, or we do have the mighty Blue Rowan coffee van as well. So I reckon by the time you've done all that, you'll be ready for a coffee, and make sure you get down there and do that. So in the meantime, we're going to have a quick break, as I said, as we prep the track for the next round of qualifying, and we will see you very shortly. Okay, we should have Radial and Blown Outlaws in the staging lanes for qualifier number 4. We're also asking for Fast Street to come to the staging lanes for qualifying number 4. Also, fast street to the qualifying lanes, please, to the staging lane, sorry. So that is fast street. We're about to get underway with all the action of Radial. So, yes, fast street to the staging lanes. Another call for fast street to the staging lanes. Also, our white Colorado ute. I cannot believe it. He's still there blocking the area. DT471, the rego number of the white Colorado. Please, please, please. I'm surprised that these guys haven't actually gone and towed your car, like just skull dragged it out of the way, because that's what usually happens. So I would be saying you're on borrowed time, white Colorado ute, rego number DT471. Let's just see, Andrew Rankin and Reese Carkeet. Reese Carkeet with a huge wheel stand. That thing left very hard. Came down hard as well. 551, 131 miles per hour for Andrew Rankin is his quickest and fastest of the weekend. But Reese Carkeet was on a wild ride, lifted the front tyres way up in the sky, came down hard and bounced, and basically I'd say probably shook his foot off the accelerator completely. Ended up getting back on it, but I'll tell you what, he would have known about that one. He would have known about it for sure. What was the other thing I was supposed to announce? Yes, that's right, the phone. Thank you, Tyler. The phone, we have had a phone handed in. It is a black phone with, it's one of those ones that you actually put your finger on and make it do things. It's one of those technical phones, like all phones. And but it is down in the scrutineering shed, so if you want that, go down there and grab it. If it's yours, of course. We do know what sort of shirt the person was wearing whose phone it is. So if you can go down to the scrutineering shed, you'll be able to get your phone back. And there you go. It was left in the stands here, the spectator stands. And if you go down there and you've got the right shirt on, then we'll be able to give that back to you. And then, of course, we've still got the white Colorado ute down there, rego DT471 down there in the parking lot. We need you to move that ute ASAP or it will get skull dragged somewhere. Mackenzie Garside now and Rodney Hanson. Rodney Hanson likes a burnout, doesn't he? And Mackenzie Garside in the rear-engined car. $408 cubes of Chevy LS motor with the supercharger on top. This is, of course, Blown Outlaws qualifying round number 4. Warwick Dragway. Nitro on the Downs. This is going to be good. We like a little bit of blown action. Don't forget we got the big guys coming out a little bit later on. The Nitro funny cars. The Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro funny cars. That is going to be awesome. We've also got the Time Traveller Nitro funny cars going to come out as well. So that is all up 5 nitro burning, fuel throwing, flame throwing nitro funny cars. If you're a good friend, you'll get on the phone and tell all your other friends to come out here, because if they miss it, they will be kicking themselves. Mackenzie Garside, Rodney Hansen. Rodney Hansen moves around a little bit, but it's totally safe. Goes 7:33, 185 miles per hour. Crosses the finish line first, and Mackenzie Garside with a great 786 at 166. Mark Rosso again in this beautiful Gen 2 Chevy Camaro up against Kalani back. Kalani back, of course, the Falcon Ute. He's in the Pro Street Radials lane. Mark Rosso in the Golby's parts and fabrication lane. And we are in Fast Street. Final qualifying pass for these guys and girls here at 1320 Motorsports Warwick Dragway. Got a lot of HKTG Holdens here this weekend, including the ute of Brett Lyon and that beautiful patinaed wagon of Jason Burnett. Jason Burnett just ran his quickest and fastest pass of the weekend with a 10.87 at 127 miles per hour. So he will be happy with that pass for sure. As we see another HKTG. Street to the staging lanes, please. Street to the staging lanes. We will be putting you into, let me see, lanes 6 and 7. Street to the staging lanes, lanes 6 and 7, please. Just repeating, folks. Street to the staging lanes, please. Street to the staging lanes. Here is Scooter March with the legendary Frankie. He's had a very troubled weekend with Frankie playing up. Normally a very, very reliable car, this one, but having a few issues with it this weekend. Things like brakes, front brakes, things like that. With that last pass, I'm not sure what went on there, but it wasn't looking the best. But hopefully things are sorted out. I'm pretty sure they've got that brake issue sorted out now. But let's see how he goes on this pass. He's lining up against Carl Sundum. And Frankie not looking too bad this time. Carl Sundum in the Holden. He goes 13.82. But it is Frankie with Scooter March behind the wheel who runs 13.07, 101 miles per hour to take the win first across the finish line. Of course, we're still in qualifying, so technically it's not a win, is it? But let's face it, we're always racing. John Riley, he's in the one-tonner. Both cars being pushed back. Do we have a little bit of a clean-up to do? Not actually pushed back, they're driving back, so nobody's actually broken anything. So I'm assuming we need to do a little bit of a tidy up on the track there. Yep, there we go. We've got Mad jumping on the tractor. We'll give it a little bit of a rub. We like rubbing our tracks out here at Warwick Dragway.
I'm thinking back on all those times when I felt closed off from all that I could become, eager but too scared to climb. Wanted to please my friends, but it felt like the end of myself. I was shut down.
Street, you guys and girls should be in the staging lanes. Street in the staging lanes 6 and 7. Just very quick little clean up here before we get back underway with Fast Street. Of course, keeping the track in good order is a very, very important thing that we do here at 1320 Motorsports Warwick Dragway. In fact, it's probably the most important thing at any drag strip is keeping everything in tip-top condition because, well, what happens if it doesn't get kept in good condition is that it can make it quite dangerous for races, which we do not want to do. Of course, we want to make things as safe as possible. As we know, things can go wrong in motorsports, but we want to make that as least a chance as possible. So we keep the track in tip-top condition, plenty of, make sure the traction is as good as we possibly can. That's why we see Mad out there right now on the tractor with the tyres on the back, rubbing more rubber into the track surface. Looks like that is it, so we should be back underway very shortly. Here comes those two competitors once again, John Riley and Gary Dobson. Of course, Gary Dobson in that gorgeous EH Ute. Over there in the Pro Street Radials lane, and in the Golby's Parts and Fabrication lane, John Riley in the one-tonner. HQ one-tonner. Looks like it's had a little bit of a update to the front there. It's got the later model front nose cone, which is not as easy as just changing the grille over. There's a little bit of work involved in that sort of carry-on. Pretty common job though. Yes, 10.73 for Gary Dobson in the EH, takes the win. Dale Gridley again in the beautiful patinaed Valiant. Sorry, I went blank there for a second. Of course it's a Valiant. Very cool old Valiant actually, this one. And up against Priscilla the Capri, driven by Beth Mansfield French. One of our amazing lady racers. Oh, Dale Gridley, the Valiant's just pulled straight through the beams there. Wasn't able to hold it there. We'll let him back up and have another shot at it, of course. Hundredths of a second reaction time there for Beth Mansfield French. Good job from her. 100 miles per hour at the mid-track and runs 11.36, 125 miles per hour. The win does go to the Valiant though. He ran 10.25 at 135 to cross the finish line first. We see here Bud Kelly. I have known Bud Kelly to be racing here for probably 20 years or more in the Big Silver HQ. He did have a rear engine dragster there for a while, but got rid of that, went back to the HQ, runs 10.68, 124 miles per hour, so a very tough HQ. Brendan Burnett, look at that, red light, but I tell you what, there was not much in it. He really went for that and ran a 9 thousandths of a second red light. So 9 thousandths of a second before the green light came on. So very, very close to another perfect light. We've already had one here today from young Christopher Shaper on the motorbike. But yeah, so great to see. Unfortunately, a red light on that occasion, but still a very good effort from Mick Thomas. Oh, sorry, I meant Brendan Burnett. Mick Thomas is out there now in the ute. Okay, drag bike, young guns bike and street bike, all to the staging lanes, please. That is drag bike, young guns bike and street bike, all to the staging lanes, please. Looks like those eager beavers, the young guns are already there, or a lot of them are. But good on them, that is great. Great to see. Drag bike, young guns bike and street bike, all to the staging lanes, please. Matt Francis in the HQ panel van, up against Phil Halpin in the wagon. Red light on that occasion for Phil Halpin. Beautiful. Once again, look at that. 0.003. 3 thousandths of a second off a perfect light for Matt Francis. This time on the good side of the ledger. Tell you what, there's been some great performances here today at 1320 Motorsports. Warwick Dragway, 10.10 at 136 miles per hour for the big panel van as well. Alex Kidd in the black Falcon Ute up against Mark Gill. Mark Gill, of course, in the Golby's Parts and Fabrication Lanes in the white Holden Ute. The old school versus the new school, you could say. Although I guess those Falcon Utes aren't exactly a brand new car these days. Been out for a while. But for me, they're old. They're new school. David Wilson in the Holden up against Daniel Shaper in the mixed towing service work ute there. .1460 at 92 miles per hour is David Wilson's best of the weekend so far. The EK station wagon again out there with Ian Deutscher behind the wheel up against Andrew Faulkner. Another very regular racer here at Warwick Dragway in the Black Commodore. Oh, another very, very close red light there from Andrew Faulkner. 5,000ths of a second. So we've got a lot of very close to perfect lights on both sides of the ledges, both a red light and a green light. But, of course, nobody has quite done it except for young Christopher Shaper. Actually got that perfect reaction time a little bit earlier. But we have had quite a few very close calls for another one. Craig Caton now and Dale Lee. Dale Lee in the red car. The SUV over there, the Nissan SUV, up against Craig Caton in the Falcon Ute. Looks like we may have lost one of our Blown Outlaws races. Let's see that gorgeous purple Tirana, the blown Tirana, on the back of the car trailer, just heading out of Warwick Dragway, unfortunately. So hope those guys haven't done anything too bad to the car, and hopefully they have a good, safe trip home, and hopefully we see them back here next time. So that was it for street, and I believe we'll be moving into drag bike. Of course, drag bike brought to us by STS Speed Shop. Justin Malloy, it is on the red bike. And over there on the black bike with the black and green leathers is Alan Unis Jr. One of the real gun riders here in drag bike is Alan. Bart Bedrosian to the scrutineering shed, please, as soon as possible. Bart Bedrosian, if we could get you to the scrutineering shed ASAP, please. Just repeating that, Bart Bedrosian to the scrutineering shed, please. Bart Bedrosian to the scrutineering shed as soon as possible. Thank you. Edwin Terry now, Eric Redmond, sorry, and Alex King out there now. Green bike for Eric Redmond and Alex King on the white and blue bike. Eric Redmond lifting the front wheel in second gear. Jack Roberts now and Bo Strike. Jack Roberts on that blue bike with the super long, extra long swing arm. Big wheel stand, he carries it a long way as well. Bo Strike, he was having a great bit of fun. Don't forget, plenty of options for food here at Warwick Dragway. We've got the canteen, of course. Sell the best chips ever. We got the coffee van down there. We've got pizza down there. We've got chicken wings down there. And the bye run to close out round number 4 of qualifying for drag bike. Shane Ball on the blue bike in the Golby's Parts and Fabrication lane. The Kawasaki calls it the Nutcracker for obvious reasons. 1063, 123 miles per hour. That is his fastest pass of the weekend, 123.81. Not his quickest though, he's gone a little bit quicker previously this weekend. So, as I said, that is the end of qualifying for drag bike. So we are getting closer and closer to that special time of the day when the Nitro funny cars come out to play. Of course, we've got the 4 Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro funny cars, and they will be joined, of course, by the Time Traveller. So 5 Nitro funny cars. And we've got the bonus wheel stander as well. That'll be great fun to watch. The Misbehavin' wheel stander. They are always fun to watch. And so that is coming up a little bit later on. I think they're due to come out around 5:30-ish. Yeah, 5:30, 7:30, and then 9:30 again. So I think at the moment we are pretty much on schedule, so that should work out well. And as I said, that is something that is pretty much life-changing. If you haven't seen those Nitro funny cars before, we've got nitro methane burning fuel funny cars. A pair of glasses has been handed into the scrutineering shed. So if you've lost your glasses, I'm not sure if they're normal glasses or whether they're sunglasses or if they're abnormal glasses, but they are at the scrutineering shed. If you've lost them, go check it out, grab them back. Got a few lost property announcements today. Gases! Warwick Gases to the staging lanes, please. Warwick Gases to the staging lanes, please. That's right, folks. We will be seeing the Warwick Gases once more very shortly. But for now, we've got the young guns out there. Tyler Bellett and Taylor Smith. Tyler Bellett with the red light on that occasion. Taylor Smith takes the win. 782, 84 miles per hour. Jasmine Kidd and Max Rowling. Young Guns bringing the action here to 1320 Motorsports, Warwick Dragway. Jasmine Kidd with the better reaction time. Can she hold on to take the win? Max Rowling has the horsepower, drives around the outside and runs a 779 at 84 miles per hour. That's his fastest of the weekend. Jasmine Kidd goes 833. Here we go. Neela Paul in the Plexcon car. This is a solo pass here for Neela Paul. Whoa, little red light there for Neela Paul. That doesn't matter. She's there by herself. And, of course, this is qualifying. 767, 84.6 miles per hour. Once again, her fastest mile an hour of the weekend so far. She's got at least another 3 rounds to go of racing. So she's still got plenty of time to improve even more. As we see Kendra Glasson and Cody Sedmak about to do battle on the Warwick Dragway drag strip. Of course, the junior dragsters or the young guns bikes, they run the 8th mile here at Warwick Dragway. Well, they run the 8th mile everywhere. That's part of their deal. The Young Guns and the Young Guns bikes run the 8th mile. This weekend, everybody else is running a full quarter mile. This is our very first Nitro On The Downs event, and it's going to be an annual event, of course. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing the event build and grow over the years. Looks like Kendra Glasson has the horsepower. She goes 806, 80 miles per hour. Cody Sedmak with an 855 at 77. Xavier Paul now and Thomas Dawson. Xavier Paul in the Rowling repairs car here in the Golby's Parts and Fabrication lane, and in the Pro Street Radials lane, Thomas Dawson in that white car, the Moonshine Racing vehicle. Isabella Hunter and Lexi Lancaster. Red light for Lexi Lou Lancaster and Isabella Hunter with a .111 reaction time. Both of them have their best passes of the weekend. 8:52 with a 75.34 for Isabella Hunter, and Lexi Lancaster runs 7.93 at 82.12. So great passes both sides of the track there from those two awesome young ladies. Nixon King now and Nash Perano. And still they keep coming. The young guns. Plenty more action still to come from the young guns here at 1320 Motorsports Warwick Dragway. Next two up is Bronte Janouche and Jet Pirano. Plenty of Piranos here on track this weekend. Jet is just one of them. In the black car over there in the Pro Street Radials lane. Bronte Janouche in the Golby's Parts and Fabrication lane. That's quite a lovely little colour she's got, that car there. It's nice and dark. At first glance you think it's black, but it's not. It's kind of like a dark maroon sort of colour. Very nice indeed. And here we go with the last pass of qualifying for the junior dragsters, or the young guns as we call them here at Warwick Dragway. Lucia Pirano with a solo pass. Rolls through with an 11.29, 42 miles per hour. And another one of the Pirano clan. Vans Pirano, as I said, another one of the Pirano clans here in the Golby's Parts and Fabrication Lane, lining up against Marcus McDonald. And here's something we haven't seen all weekend. It used to be a very common occurrence, but this weekend, first time it's happened, the brother and sister lining up. Scarlett Mansfield French versus Xavier Mansfield French. Scarlett on the pink bike, Xavier on the blue. Scarlett working the gears hard. But looks like Xavier is out in front. Runs 9.11. And Scarlett Mansfield, she wasn't too far behind with the 9.08. Xavier did have the better reaction time as well, which meant the margin of victory was 0.2 of a second. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but in drag racing terms, it's a reasonable amount. Nevaeh McDonald this time. McDougall, sorry. Should use my glasses, shouldn't I? Nevaeh McDougall runs 9.62.74 miles per hour. So, that is it for the Young Guns bikes for qualifying. Moving through nicely through this fourth and final qualifying session. Yes, so as I said, that is it for qualifying for Young Guns bikes. Nitro on the Downs here at 1320 Motorsports, Warwick Dragway. First return road gate now closed. Back to quarter mile racing. This time it is with the street bikes. Street bike brought to us, of course, by Clint Swalling's Painters. And first pairing up, Dave Fallon on the yellow bike versus Matt Halpin. Nice smoky burn out here in the Golby's Parts and Fabrication Lane. Clinton Swalling. He is, of course, the bracket sponsor, but he's also a competitor. Christopher Shaper over there had another crack at that good reaction time he got last time. This one's not too shabby either. E to the staging lanes, please. Quick ET to staging lanes 4, 5, 6, and 7. Quick ET to the staging lanes for your final qualifying session. Rochelle Strike and Adam Hill. Rochelle takes the win with a 10.12, 132 miles per hour. Adam Hill goes 10.50 at 125. Aaron Grout and Aaron Potts. The two Aarons. Battle of the Aarons. Well, I should have picked up on that one sooner. Speaking of battles, we got coming at ya the Mundy battle. Lisa on the Suzuki step through versus hubby Mick Mundy over there in the Pro Street Radials lane. Who will be the victor? Husband versus wife. Red light for Lisa Mundy. She throws it away right on the start line. Yeah, Mick's well ahead of her. with the ET there going to Mick as well with a 21.39. And Lisa goes 23.27. Margin of victory was 1.6 seconds, and that's just a measly 134 feet. A measly 134 feet. Good fun, good stuff. We like it. More of that, please. Speaking of fun, we have the Warwick Gases coming our way once again. Unfortunately, looking down the staging lanes there, it looks like the big Ford Fairlane, who had issues earlier, has not been able to get those sorted out to come back for the final qualifying session. But that's okay. We've got plenty of great Gasser action coming your way here at 1320 Motorsports. Warwick Dragway, we've got Tracy Coombe in the old Trouble and Strife. The car, of course, named after her, the old Trouble and Strife. And, of course, Shane Lucas in Blue by You. That is a very nice paint job on that car. The custom lacework, the beautiful blue colour. And look at the stance on that thing. That is classic Gasser. Tracy Coombe is out of there. She runs through the quarter mile in the old Trouble and Strife in 10:55, 129 miles per hour. And Shane Lucas goes 11:89 at 112. Peter Klockner in the middle mauler, and once again James Brennan bringing the smoke to the start line here at Warwick Dragway. That's how you do a burnout. The delinquent panel van living up to its name, pulling a massive big smoky burnout. Peter Klockner waits patiently in the middle mauler, Valiant. Peter Klockner, a very small advantage off the start line with a slightly better reaction time. Not much in it to the 60 foot or the 330 feet, all the way down the track. It's going to be very close. The win goes to James Brennan in the sedan delivery with a 1367. And the two Holdens, the two FJs, the two Humpies going at it here at Warwick Dragway. Rowan Morrison in the Grumpy Humpy. Simon Telford in Barbara Ann. How much fun are we all having with the Warwick Gases? Always putting on a big show, big smoky burnouts, wheel stands. We got a bit of fluid coming out of Barbara Ann. She's had a little bit of a hissy fit on the start line. Grumpy Humpy will go by himself. Rowan Morrison, 0.38 reaction time. And runs 10.92, 119 miles per hour. unfortunately, Barbara Ann. She's still running, but obviously a little bit of something coming out of somewhere. So hopefully they can get that sorted out. Simon can come back out for the first round of racing. Dean Kubler in the locomotive ute. In the Golby's Parts and Fabrication Lane, up against Brad O'Regan. In the crazed Plymouth Coupe. These guys will also be racing I think next month. I think it is at the Dust Up, the Downs Dust Up out there at Toowoomba. Drag racing on the dirt. Well, we got that wheel wobbling thing once again from Dean Kubler. He thought he had that sorted out, but it's back, unfortunately. Brad O'Regan goes through with no troubles. His best pass of the weekend, 11.50, 119 miles per hour for the big Plymouth. But once again, unfortunately for Dean Kubler, issues with the front suspension or the front steering or something like that with those front wheels. Just not doing their job properly. Getting a big wobble up. This next pairing will round out qualifying for the Warwick Gases. Just obviously need to wait for Dean to get that car off the track. And of course, the next pairing is Callum Scott in the Valiant, Brutal, and Kenton McKay, Big Kenny, in the Hemi-powered Willys. The Willys has been going quicker and faster every pass this weekend. Oh, look, there's my mate's old car just coming in the entry gates there, the old Chevy station wagon. My mate just sold that not too long ago. Beautiful car. It's got nice patina on it, but runs a very tough LS in it. So airbagged all around. It's a cool car. Good to see it still getting out and about. Brutal, smoking it up. Callum Scott. This thing could be a handful when it wants to be. Let's keep an eye on it. As I said, Kenny in the Willys has been getting faster and quicker every pass all weekend. The blown Hemi on board. Old school blown Hemi, not one of these new fancy ones. Red light for Kenny McKay. Callum Scott had a little bit of an issue off the start line, but got back underway pretty quick. He gets the win, of course, due to that red light. He runs 12.76, 115, and Kenny McKay goes 11.75, 119 miles per hour. That's his fastest pass of the weekend. He has gone a little bit quicker with the ET, but hasn't gone as fast as that before this weekend. So he'll still be happy. He'll want to make sure he doesn't pull another red light later on, because from now on in, it is racing. Next time you see all these cars, they will be racing. As I said, this is the final qualifier. Quali 4. And moving into Quick ET. We've got Ella Sting. Going to put down another solo pass in the Sting Family Racing Dragster. So, as I said before, Ella Sting been running solo passes all weekend, getting a handle on this car. It's not a new car, but it is new to her, and she's doing a great job. It's not easy driving one of these. You've got limited visibility, you've got a lot of horsepower. They obviously steer very differently to a normal car. And so she is out there doing a great job getting used to driving this Sting Family Racing Dragster. She has got a very talented and experienced mentor in John Sting, of course, the normal driver of this dragster. That was a good pass once again, runs her best numbers of the weekend, 7.805, 170 miles per hour. She's doing great. She's doing great. I think from what I can remember, probably her first full-length quarter-mile pass here this weekend. Rock Trapnell, the old 55 FC Holden. It's a very iconic car. Been around a long time. In good hands these days. In the hands of the Trapnell family. Good to see the backup girl as well. We should be more of that brought back into drag racing, I reckon. I think we're looking at trying to get some backup girl action happening with the vintage gases, of course. That's the perfect scenario there for them. And of course, old 55, of course, has also got that real old school traditional look and feel about it. So back in the day, they had the drag racing backup girls. Good to see them coming back. Again, look at how close that is. 0.006 of a second of a red light for her. So that if just the tiniest blink of an eye would have been a perfect reaction time. You can't get them right every single time, of course. She still runs her quickest pass of the weekend, 7.801, 168 miles per hour. But again, like I said, we are in qualifying, so the red light doesn't really matter. Doesn't really count, to be honest. Neil Grayson in the Hilux. Bruce Mansfield in the rear engine dragster. .04 to .05 reaction time. It was very close off the start line, but the win goes to the dragster. 8:22, 158 miles per hour. And Neil Grayson in the Hilux goes 8:27 at 161. So very close in the ETs. The Hilux actually had a little bit higher mile per hour, but I'll tell you what, like I said, very close off the start line. Versus Andrew March. Red light there for Andrew March in the Ford Telstar. Rob Price, 0.01, 1/100th of a second, in other words. So nice reaction time from him is what I'm trying to say. 9:68, 140 miles per hour. Jamie Folker moving around in the altered there. Red lights as well, runs 988.9, 136.84. That's his best pass of the weekend. Darren Otto, 977, 139. That's also his best pass of the weekend. There's life in the old fella, yeah. Jaffa. Trevor Davis in the Mark 1 Cortina. Up against Scott Burton. This beautiful little altered Intentions T-Bucket altered. Trevor Davis. I like the way that car leaves the line though. Neil Maxwell, another nice long smoky burnout from him in the Pontiac GTO. Neil Maxwell, 7:39, 185 miles per hour. His best pass of the weekend as well. These guys and girls are building. They're getting quicker, they're getting faster throughout the weekend. Michael Shaper in the Chevy. Michael Osborne in the Hilux. We are getting very close to the end of qualifying here for Nitro on the Downs. The very first, the inaugural, the starting point of Nitro on the Downs. Goes for it again. 0.03 reaction time. 9.14 at 118 for him. Michael Osborne, that's his quickest pass of the weekend. 9.36, 146. The two Carpenter Racing Fords out there now. Kristen Colston in the AU Falcon and Max Carpenter in the red car, the big Mustang. This thing looks like it's very serious. Beautiful car, absolutely beautiful. Another best run there, Max Carpenter, 8.86 with a 9, 154.24 miles per hour. Gavin Hart, please, Gavin Hart, if you want to have a run, you need to make it to the staging lanes immediately. Gavin Hart to the staging lanes immediately. We're not going to hang around too much longer. We'd like to close off this qualifying session. But we are looking for Gavin Hart to the staging lanes ASAP, please. And by ASAP, I actually mean immediately. This is it, Gavin Hart. The last qualifying pass of the very first Nitro on the Downs. Tough sounding HG, this one. And he goes 10.56, 128 miles per hour. And that is it for qualifying here for the very first Nitro on the Downs. We'll be coming back at 3 o'clock for round one of racing. And then working our way through till around 5:30 when we get what we've been waiting for all weekend, the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars coming out at 5:30 p.m. So we're going to have 5 nitro burning, flame throwing, high horsepower nitro funny cars. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. But before we get to that, we're going to have plenty more action coming your way here at 1320 Motorsports, Warwick Dragway, with all the brackets: Fast Street Drag Bike, Young Guns Bikes, Street Bikes, Warwick Gases, Quick ET, and Radial and Blown Outlaws. Before we get to, as I said, the Nitro Funny Cars, and of course we have the Wheel Stander demo as well. We've got it all happening for you guys and girls. Make sure you are there ready to see it. If you've got friends local, make sure they're here because they'll miss out otherwise. You don't want to miss this. And if you can't be here, make sure you tune in to the YouTube channel, Overtaking Lane, and check out all the action on the live feed. Of course, don't forget, as we said earlier, if you subscribe, not only will you be a subscriber, which is a very special thing, but you'll get notifications of when we get back underway, because your phone will ding or whatever it does, and it'll let you know that the live feed is starting up again. And as we said, we've had the live feed going for qualifying, and then we'll have a new live feed for racing. And as I said, make sure you subscribe to the Overtaking Lane YouTube channel, and you'll get all the notifications you need to make sure you don't miss any of the action. So we will see you very shortly. Make sure you get over there, get yourself some merchandise, get yourself some food. We've got the canteen, as I said. We've got the wing shop, we've got the pizza shop, we've got the coffee shop, and we've got all that stuff. We've got cool merchandise left, right, and centre. Get yourself over there to the Nitro Funny Car Pits. They've got merchandise as well. They'll be working on the cars. Always fun to watch them work on the cars, and then they'll probably be warming them up a little bit later on as well. So you'll be able to get a big dose of nitro fumes into your lungs before 5:30 when they come out.